Hey, boys and girls, we are back again. Another week has gone by, and Mai Tai Happy Hour is live in your earballs.
We're back to your earballs, y'all.
It's right in your earballs. We are here. We are ready. We have a fun, exciting, excellent episode for you today in this wild world of pop culture for weirdos, where we are so excited.
So excited.
So excited.
So excited.
That Marvel is back that Marvel is gonna eat the X-Men. They got it. They're like, the Disney is gonna just like devour them whole, and we'll have Daredevil, and it'll be amazing, and Deadpool. I am smoking crack tonight.
You are. It's like two twins when one devours the other.
I will stop. I'm just so excited. My whole day was
so
amazing.
Excited, yeah.
What do we have in store for the kids today, Hambone?
So today we are going to talk a little bit about a very controversial episode of The Walking Dead that just happened a couple nights ago. We're also going to talk about the worst movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Or we're going to battle for what it might be.
We might battle for the supremacy. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. There might be spears. We're also going to talk about the new Google Stadia that just got announced today, which is the talk of the town in the video game world. And I'm going to teach you how to make a cocktail.
Ooh, I'm not going to forget the cocktail this time.
No, because we're going to lead off with it.
Go right into it. What's our cocktail this week, Hambone?
So this is still March. So this is a cocktail for what I call March Madness, which is high alcohol content drinks. Now, here's the thing.
High octane Hambone.
Woo! Let's not get arrested. So what we're doing tonight is I had a little bit of a revelation, if you will, where I realized that I was searching out these drinks that were meant to be just one single drink, where when most tiki drinks occur when you're out and about with your friends, you're going to order something that might be a bowl just for you, because let's be realistic, tiki drinks are awesome. So I am not going to kid myself anymore.
Wait. You're talking about people who don't share bowls.
Yes.
Yes.
I wasn't thinking of it like that, but now I am. Don't share a bowl. Drink one yourself. And what we're going to talk about tonight is the Tiki Bowl from 1960.
All right.
This is going to be delicious. You're going to take 3/4 of an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of honey mix, 1.5 ounces of orange juice, Tropicana preferred. Granted, yeah, you should squeeze your own orange juice, but let's not kid ourselves, folks. 1 ounce of Lemon Heart 151 Demerara rum.
I'm working on it. Shut up.
All right.
Just do it.
1.25 ounce of Gold rum, 1.25 ounce of Myers Dark, a dash of Angostura bitters, 6 drops of absinthe. I recommend going down to the local CVS pharmacy and getting an eyedropper so you can get the drops just right. 6 ounces of ice. You're going to drop it in a blender. You're going to blend it for about 5 seconds. Drop it in a bowl and top it off with a little more ice as needed. And you're going to drink that sumbitch all by yourself. March Madness, lots of booze just for you.
Speaking of which, St. Patty's Day this past weekend.
Yes.
Heard you were bombed out of your mind.
Who told you that?
George Colazzo.
He was incorrect.
He said you swore on your mother.
I did not swear on my mother.
That the demon Finn Balor had been at WrestleMania. He said math was wrong. You said math was wrong, and that you swore up and down the demon Finn Balor was at a WrestleMania.
No.
And I'm like, George Colazzo, the demon Finn Balor has only appeared 4 times, and 3 of them were SummerSlams.
So, fun fact, I wasn't wasted this St. Patrick's Day for more than 5 hours.
Explain to me how that conversation happened.
The conversation was, hey, Hambone, do you think that Finn Balor will show up at WrestleMania in the demon makeup to get his title back? And I said, yes, I hope so. That was the conversation.
Do you want me to read the conversation to you? But it ended up with no. Hambone might be misunderstanding things because he's ham-swasted. This would have been around 5:30. How drunk were you at 5:30 on Saturday?
Very, in the back of an Uber on the way to Jersey City.
See? So you could have forgotten the whole conversation.
No, I specifically remembered because I really want Finn Balor to show up at WrestleMania in the demon costume.
But he only shows up at SummerSlam.
I don't think that's going to be a thing. I'm really hoping it's not a thing, and if it is, I could be wrong. Does he even
have a match yet?
I thought he was going to end up trying to get his title back for the Intercontinental title. What else is he going to do at?
I don't know.
Or you know what? He might be the Andre the Giant Battle Royale for all we know.
For all we know.
You know, tweet on the street, there might be 17 matches for WrestleMania this year.
Me and George Colazzo have been talking about renting a helicopter.
Because
that is the only way we're going to be able to clear Route 3 traffic.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, unless the other option is to leave at 8 a.m. Just like wait there in the parking lot, because trying to get through we're not talking about Giants Stadium right here where it's a half-empty Jets game or a Giants game where there is no seating on the actual field.
Right.
We're talking about an additional like 10, 20,000 people on top of the.
They kind of filled it up.
Yes, it's gonna be a challenge to get there. So we're thinking of that. We're thinking of jetpacks,
Bro, yes.
jetpacks, hovercrafts.
Well, time out. Why didn't you lead with hovercraft?
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, similar to like the Frank Black Los Angeles video, where he just like, but that it's tough. We need a little more air to get up over the cars.
Do you think we could rent Airwolf?
Maybe that is a battle copter, a low flying battle. It's a Tomahawk, I believe.
I know.
If I'm wrong, please let us know if I misunderstood which helicopter Airwolf actually is.
But if you're going to rent a helicopter, rent Airwolf.
So that is becoming a challenge. I'm just like, anybody who thought you'd be getting there like as it starts, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even feasible because you're going to be in 3 hours of gridlock because that's everybody else's plan.
It's funny because I was recently at a hotel for a work conference, and it is close enough to the stadium. And I was like, hey, do you guys offer shuttle service to Giant Stadium? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, so if we rented a room for WrestleMania weekend? And they laughed.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening.
They said that's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I was like, we need to I don't know. We think maybe we should like airdrop in like that guy from in the Mets, the '86 Mets World Series, where he parachuted into the event. I think as long as we have tickets, I think we're good.
I don't know, man. Anytime someone jumps the barricade that's not scripted to be jumping the barricade.
We'll just aim away from the actual ring.
So we have to land, like, say, to the left of the ring.
Basically.
Yeah, so we just wanted to not end in the ring, not in the gorilla. We want to be kind of off to the side. Maybe the mezzanine.
Maybe. So Disney, Tuesday morning, Super Monday, Tuesday night at midnight. Wednesday morning at midnight. I don't know which way you go on the midnight side of
things.
Is
it West Coast or East Coast time?
I don't know.
Probably West Coast.
Closing the deal with Fox. I'm just curious what this means for like the New Mutants, Doctor Doom, X-Force movies that are like on the docket. I mean, New Mutants is like done.
I just know that the minute Doctor Doom saunters, because he saunters onto the screen in the proper MCU, it's going to be like scanners. Every nerd head explodes. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited for that. Do you realize that something I didn't think about?
What's that?
This also means Disney now owns The Simpsons.
Yes, they do.
I didn't think about that at all.
Holy crap, George.
Yeah.
I mean, The Simpsons to me has been around for so long. It's an institution like Saturday Night Live. It's been there forever. So it doesn't, in my brain, I don't think Fox anymore. I just think it just exists.
Yeah, me neither, because I haven't watched an episode since like in the Navy. Like and for good points, there hasn't been too much to watch.
You're a Merchant Marine.
What do you mean? That's a bad joke.
I know.
That didn't work.
That's just gotta play
My
fair,
dad
man.
was in the Merchant Marines.
I know.
I was not in the Merchant Marines. There is nothing on me that's been in long term on a boat. The one time I went on a cruise to Greece, I hated it. There's that. Do you think Disney might bring back Married with Children?
You know what? I think they already have a decent hit on their hand that they're wrapping up right now with Modern Family, which also stars Ed O'Neill. I don't think that...
Ed O'Neill's going to need something to do.
I don't know. I think he could just retire and just be good with it.
I mean, after Sons of Anarchy, Peggy Bundy's not doing much of anything.
Yeah, but she's just a fantastic woman. Just probably does whatever she wants.
So I think we should do our entire show in reverse order today. I think we should do The Walking Dead last because there's spoilers.
Yeah, oh yes.
And that would be just bad. Big story broke today. We had to reformat the whole show, even though Hambone was choking on a topic, so maybe that was a good thing.
It wasn't quite here. It was more here.
And we were watching Twitter. I was like sitting there. I did not realize. I had heard rumblings that Google was going to work on an over-the-top video game service.
Right.
But I didn't think about it. I didn't pay it much mind because Google works on a lot of things.
Yes. What doesn't Google work on?
And they had a full event.
Right.
For a new system. Maybe is system even the right word? Called Stadia?
Yeah, it's called Stadia. I don't know if system is the right word because it solely exists in the cloud and in the controller you're using in your hand.
It is. This is something that's been done before. It's been tried before.
Yes.
There are other systems that have tried to make a fully cloud-based video game experience, and for the most part, they've all failed. I was thinking of Steam, but Steam is really a video game distribution platform for high-end computer systems.
Although they did try to come out with the Steam box.
Yes, and that didn't go too well either.
No.
This is a video game system. The controller is your only piece of hardware you have.
Right.
What's the best Easter egg of it?
It's got the Konami code written on it.
It's got up, down, left, right. A, B, start.
I'm like, wow, you really dig in there?
Oh, they went hard.
But you're getting me. You put the right bait on the line, guys.
And what they're saying is basically no matter what your platform is, much like apps are, like the WWE app, like the HBO Go, you will be able to play high-end video games, like intense,
AAA titles,
low latency, 4K, 8K video games,
60 frames a second
on your smart TV,
right?
Possibly on like an Apple TV or a Roku, or they haven't really explained the distribution system, but it'll be on your phone, on a gamepad. And this is kind of like, I know at Verizon, this is what we would talk about the future with 5G is low latency and being able to actually play your system no matter where you are. Look, truth be told, I don't know if I want to play like a really, a tough, challenging game on a phone.
Right.
But the fact that you can is pretty bonkers.
It's bonkers, and actually have a controller to use so you're not just slapping your touchscreen.
Yeah. And
it sounds dirty when I say it out loud.
It's got Google Assistant integrated right into it. There's a Google Assistant in the button. You can just ask for help on the game while you're playing. Hey, help! I'm stuck here. I don't know how to shoot my spider webs at Spider-Man. Like, how do you go about doing this? And supposedly it'll be able to help you.
So it actually comes with an instruction manual for every. You just say, "Hey, Google."
Okay, Google. There's no one down here.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it highly, putting one here, just so that like, how old's Randy Orton?
Ooh, that's a great... You are just full of good ideas today.
I think that would be just to throw things out. Has to be a Google Assistant, though. That's the best for really weird knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alexa, 50% of the time fails.
I'm sorry. I get triggered because there's so many in the house that I live in. You have to watch what you say because you never know when she's listening.
Yeah, you never know.
Or when she's going to respond.
Have you ever had any weird things in the middle of the night?
Yes.
You have.
Like weird little sounds. And like once I heard chirping... And I thought at first maybe something is happening. Maybe I'm in a dream and I'm dreaming that I'm awake hearing chirping. But no, I heard like little chirping and humming coming out of the Alexa one night. And I got very scared and I just kind of got back into bed and I just tried to make myself go to sleep.
I have never experienced anything like that. I've never had noises. It just has weird, sometimes it just glows yellow for a reason. I don't know. There's a message that I know sometimes Gabe will turn it on and off. It's a weird connectivity issue sometimes. Yeah. But for the most part, none of my assistants, and I have them all in my house. Bigsby, Siri, Alexa, they're all in my house.
You've got your own little Fantastic Four squad of assistants.
Yes. AI attack.
Yes.
It's basically what I'm trying to do in my house.
So PlayStation, I remember about 5 years ago, came out with a small version of their system. That
Vita.
Was the Vita. No, not the Vita. Nope. It was a small box that you would be able to you didn't actually need the PlayStation to play it. You could run it directly off of your internet and run a controller off of it and have access to a games library.
I have no recollection of this at all.
No, because it didn't work. It kind of came and it went. Like, I bought it when it came out. It was $100, and it came with a controller, and you were just supposed to be able to use their service to download and play these different... Not even download, but you would just play it like on a cloud-based service, and it just didn't take off well. Because, PlayStation's I have a PlayStation 4. It's a fantastic console. I don't think they were ready for that kind of action yet. And then that migrated to the console where you can pay for their, I think it's PlayStation Now service, where you could go and you could play a bunch of different games on the cloud, but they're all PlayStation games.
And is it on the cloud, or you download a local version?
I'm pretty sure you play it off the cloud because you're kind of renting it. It's almost like a games on demand type thing. This is like some next level shit.
In terms of low latency, I do use the PlayStation app that allows you to play your PlayStation in another room of your house on another computer. So when Allison's like sleeping or doing something downstairs and I want to play Red Dead Redemption, I can go to my Mac, turn on the PlayStation app, and it will actually remote fire up the PlayStation and let me play the games. And it's very, very, very clean, very little glitching. You need to be hardwired. Your controller has to be wired to a USB.
Right.
But it's pretty incredible. Now I'm running a gigabit connection in my house, and there is some question as to whether you need a gigabit level connection to be able to use this. The Google system in the future. There really has been no explanation yet on what kind of speeds we're going to need for it.
Well, I mean, I have a couple thoughts on it that, what they offer is like drop-in gaming, and 5 seconds it starts right up and you could be in a game like instantly, right? And that's great. I like the idea that you can get AAA titles, and that's great. My thing is, if you have a house and you're living in a house and they have only so much internet to be given, and someone's upstairs watching Netflix on their tablet, someone is like streaming something in the living room, you're in your room, like at what point you're going to be like looking like you're playing like Nintendo? It's gonna be like a choke
exactly,
point.
and that's the reason why I have gigabit in my house, because I'm running like 5, 6, 7 IP cameras that are doing full HD to Google Nest. I'm running all these AIs. I'm running my lights. Everything's running through it.
Right.
The thing is, usually they're not all going at the same time.
Right.
And again, I don't know how much speed people really need. I think even a 150 up and down you might be good at. Again, gigabit's a little intense, but I'm running a smart home.
Right. You know, at the same time, though, someone's watching a 4K program in one room and a 4K pro. It's just...
It will be interesting to see. So Stadia is coming this year. It's first coming to U.S., Canada, UK, and some parts of Europe.
And how bold is that they announce it today in March and like, oh, at some point this year it's going to come out. Like, we're not talking years from now. It'll be out by Christmas, I'm sure.
And they haven't announced what games are going to be out there yet. They haven't announced what the cost is going to be.
Right.
But I'm thinking it's going to be the cost of the controller, what, $35, $40.
Right.
And then the games are you're going to be paying for the games.
They're also talking about the integration where you're going to be able to play games on YouTube. Like, YouTube's going to have a library of games that you could play through YouTube.
No, listen to this. What blows my mind is they said that you can watch a trailer on YouTube and literally click the button in YouTube and start playing. Which is kind of next level, especially if it incorporates like YouTube Red or something like that.
Yeah, of course. This is the Jetsons future we were promised. It's finally here, guys.
And I also, so one of the big arguments I read, someone said on Twitter, the future of gaming is not a box, it's a place. Welcome to, oh, no, that is the actual, someone complained about, I want to own the game. I want to know I can come back and start and play the game 30 years from now. That is fair. Okay, so
fair point.
We're talking physical media. And here's what I gotta tell you. As someone who owns pretty much every game I've ever bought, I've rarely ever sold a game. So I have an entire attic full of every N64, every Super Nintendo game, every PS1, 2, 3, 4 game, and they're all up there.
Yep.
And the fact is technology has moved so quickly that unless, and I don't have one, I go out and buy, and we're working on a segment for this show, but it's going to involve Hambone having to actually hang out for a day on the weekend, which is very hard for him to do. Where we will
plan ahead.
Play the best N64 wrestling games and do a segment on that. But the problem is I need an old
CRT television.
Yeah, rear projection television.
Yeah.
Or it looks like ass.
Yeah.
And I've connected my Super Nintendo and my N64. Back when the Super Nintendo Classic came out, I'm like, I've got 3 Super Nintendos and plenty of games. Connected it. It looked so bad on a high-def television that it's almost unplayable. So are you really going to use those? We've learned right out, I think with the Blu-ray players are slowly dying. I've heard major brand just stopped making Blu-ray players. The physical format books, look, I know people will fight books to the death, but it's generational. I love my Kindle too. It's more like, how much junk do we need to have? I say that with a wall full of records over there.
Off screen, you can't see it, but it looks very nice.
But, there's something to be said about certain formats. Movies, I switched to digital and haven't thought twice.
I did too. I used to have a large collection of DVDs that I sold to go to Vegas for my 29th birthday. Very wise decision. I got a good amount of money for them back when people were still buying DVDs. I think that there hits a point where, the old saying goes, everything old is new again. I think we're going to be in a generational cycle where eventually people will put value again on owning physical media. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon because having everything at my fingertips via the cloud is pretty fucking sweet. But I think it will. I think we will probably give it 10, 20 years. People are going to be psyched to own things again. I
am going to disagree with you here. I find things like music. So I was waiting for you to do the argument like vinyl and tapes. The thing with vinyl and tapes makes sense. I think tapes are garbage, but that's neither here nor there.
Agree.
At least the quality hasn't changed. You play a tape or a CD or a record today, as long as it's clean, it's new, whatever, it sounds on a good tape player or cassette. It sounds as good as it did back then.
Yeah.
Whatever level of quality that would be. You cannot play a video game or a DVD player or DVD in today's, or videotape on today's system and equipment and have a good experience at all.
Oh, no. And it's kind of tough to watch things. Like, last week we talked about, I went to the Alamo Draft House. Birth Death Movies did a fantastic job telling you the story of Captain Marvel via many different mediums. And also they do the trailers and little vignettes before the movie. Anything that happened in the 90s is genuinely hard to look at because you're flashing between like shitty 90s cameras in like HD. And it's tough.
Which is why I think video games fall into that category.
I agree with you.
I think anything visual you can't go back on.
Right.
You can't go back and watch 480p DVDs, which were high def at the time, when you have 4K video. It's tough. It really is. And maybe the exception is film.
Agreed.
And that's harder and harder to find anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's a medium, and I think video games fall into that. I think it's very, very difficult unless you have a remastered game to go back and play it. So I think these people that want their cake and eat it too, I think the only thing that upset some people is the situation like apps in the Apple Store,
right,
where they'll just pull an app and that's it. You can never get it back again.
Right, and that's something I definitely don't agree with, because if you pay for something to own something, you're not. I mean, I'm not licensing the music that I buy. I buy it with the intention that I'll have it forever and be able to. Oh crap! Hard drive died. I can just download it again. But apparently, that's not the case anymore. Live in a very rented world.
Here's the quote from Google as part of their presentation. The future of gaming is not a box, it's a place. Welcome Stadia, an all-new gaming platform from Google for playing AAA games across all the screens in your life. Gather around. I mean, it's a great sales pitch. I think it worked well.
Google makes a good sales pitch.
They've signed up with some great manufacturers. There are great developers out there. I think Assassin's Creed was a big one they showed off. It's going to be able to handle the Unreal 4 engine. Wow. And this was from Wired. They said, imagine watching a game trailer on YouTube. We just spoke about this. And then being able to play that game directly inside the video. No download required. No custom hardware. Within 5 seconds, you're playing the game. That's what Google Stadia is, which is a horrible name.
It's a terrible name.
Like, what does it even mean?
I don't fucking know.
I have no idea. Stadia.
It's like, I tend to try to not shit on names, because I have said it from the very beginning. It is hard to name something cool with an original name, because all the good names are taken. Ham-Fisted Productions. Making podcasts for you to enjoy New Year
It's
balls.
ironic, the name. It's ironic. He's actually very good at it.
I'm actually pretty good at it.
He's very good at it. Ham-fisted misnomer. I don't think he looked in the dictionary. I love Hambone. Here is some things they also announced. The controller is the only hardware, and it's optional.
Yeah.
So you could, but we all know what. Trying to play on a phone using the little the virtual joysticks is impossible.
I will tell you this though. So when I went to Ireland 7 years ago, we had a lot of train rides to go on. So I downloaded a bunch of games on my phone, Double Dragon, and I downloaded Ghosts and Goblins. I beat fucking Ghosts and Goblins on a cell phone, on a goddamn cell phone. I cannot tell you, I spent months before I'd gone to Ireland trying to beat this game on my cell phone. Ghosts and Goblins is a very hard game. A very, very hard game with a controller. It is near impossible on a touchscreen. And that said, I did it on a train going to Dublin.
It's going to have resolutions up to 4K and 60 frames per second at launch. You got plans for 8K at 120 frames per second. Cross-platform play, rumored to be the more powerful than the PS4 and Xbox One combined.
What?
Again, still no word on price. It's very interesting. Look, I'm up for what Google does. Some good stuff. It does some bad stuff. It does some good stuff.
You know what I appreciate about Google? Not a show for Google, guys. Come on. But when they figure something out that isn't right and it doesn't work, they just get rid of it. They don't fucking try to.
They fail fast.
I appreciate that.
Google. What was the name of that for the Facebook clone they had? Google Plus.
Google Plus.
That maybe lasts a little longer than it should have.
Yeah.
But it morphed into other things.
Yeah.
I mean, I love their phones. The Pixel's a great, one of the best cameras in a phone today.
You heard it here first, guys.
And I'm excited. Look, I'm interested as I'm getting older. Ease of play is becoming a big thing in my life. I don't have time to go fire everything up, download 800 gigs of a game and get going. I like to play fast.
Yeah.
And if this allows me to play no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, I can start a game in my TV room on the big screen, move to my computer. I'm in the bathroom at work pretending to be pooping and playing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I mean, if they might see you smuggling that controller in your pocket, but...
you can play with your hands. You can play with your hands.
That's all right.
So the big thing is we're going to have to buy like a controller for every room of the house, because that's going to get annoying fast.
That's the trap. That is definitely going to be the trap.
Yeah, it's when I first started working at Verizon, I realized they actually, for some reason, were selling PlayStation 4 controllers, and I had my discount. I just bought as many controllers as I could. So there's one in every room. It's like, oh, I can play. I don't know why I need this one in ultra white, Arctic white, but I have it.
I really did like the Arctic white though when it came out. I thought it was a nice option.
That one's upstairs. Gabe drooled on it, and now it sticks a little bit. So we got to figure that out. So the next topic I wanted to talk about was, we kind of went into it a little bit last week. And I got into a big conversation when we were talking at game night on Friday, before you showed up, was what everyone's least favorite Marvel movie is. Because there's been 21 now.
That's crazy.
And every one of them has actually been quality.
Yes.
It's just some are better than others.
Some are much better than others.
And I just want to put it out there that my least favorite Marvel movie of all time is Doctor Strange.
Really?
Doctor Strange I found to be boring. I found to be unnecessary. I feel like his whole story could have been told in like a sidebar of the Avengers. And I just don't care for Doctor Strange. That said, the guy who played him, Cuthbert,
Benedict Cumberbatch,
did a very, very good job as Doctor Strange. I think the only person who could have played him better might have been
Vincent Price.
No, that's not true. You know who else would have done it well?
Who?
Mayor Tancredi from The Wire, who's also Littlefinger. Littlefinger could have done him well.
Oh, he would have been a good Doctor Strange.
Yes, with the beard. Yes, he was the one I thought immediately. But
wow.
Yep.
George just
that was that movie bored me. I just wanted to get through it.
Magic's tough.
Magic's tough.
I'm
not a Magic fan.
Magic is tough, and forgive me for cutting you off. Did you have more you want to go with?
No.
Magic's tough, and the thing is with the Magic is, in the end of the day, what Doctor Strange had to do was he fought a god. It's kind of a weird flex, but okay. He had the guy who he was chasing and fighting and trying to stop, and then essentially he has to go toe-to-toe with a god. In your first movie, which is an origin story, you're kind of left with, oh shit, it's like the pink cloud all over again from, Ang Lee's Hulk, or, the Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, where like it should be a giant Galactus you're fighting, but it's a fucking pink cloud. Like, what do you do? And it's cool, he like beat it by like cheating time, which
I remember none of this.
Yes, but I remember it because the thing that he did to beat Dormammu in Doctor Strange is essentially the thing that he does in Avengers Infinity War, which is how he figures out how they're going to get out of this pickle that they're in. And I feel like
you just went a really long way around to get somewhere, and I just don't know where it is.
So you remember when I
don't want to know anymore about how we got there.
No, but I
found it to be a very boring fucking movie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What the problem is with a lot of these Marvel movies, and I do enjoy them when they come out, and I think that there's some that are exceptional, like Captain America: Winter Soldier, Thor, Ragnarok. Where you're looking at them years later and you're like, all right, still a really fucking good movie.
Civil War.
But then you have things like Doctor Strange where the whole movie, in a lot of ways, is built around this one thing that happens to set something up in another movie. And that was the whole thing. Like the whole way that he beat Dormammu was just to set up what he's going to have to do in Avengers Endgame to save the day.
I think it could have been a YouTube short.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. It's a long way to go for a fucking thing.
So what was your least favorite Marvel movie?
Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2.
You said that almost like you felt sad.
I did because I didn't want it. I really love the first Iron Man movie is a really good movie and it holds up. The second Iron Man movie, like where I just went on that whole long tirade about they did Doctor Strange to set up like kind of one thing that happens, like at least that's something that they did to affect a major plot point in a later Marvel movie. Iron Man 2 sucks because it sucks. I mean, Mickey Rourke as Whiplash.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I tried to forget about that. But the whole movie is essentially set up for an after credit sequence. Like, that's all it is. It's a vehicle for them to, instead of, oh, you know what we could do? We could just put this after credit sequence online and break the internet. We're going to make a movie and get people to go to see this movie and make them wait for something cool that happens in the end to lead into the next movie.
I agree with you. Iron Man 2 was just boring as shit. It was almost a paint by numbers. For what it's worth, it also wasn't a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I believe it was still under the Paramount umbrella.
Right, but it was building towards the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's the weird taint of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, those first 5 or 6 movies were all under Paramount. They weren't Marvel. Marvel didn't have a studio yet.
So it was The Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
Iron Man 2, Captain America First Avenger,
Thor,
and Thor.
I believe were the first ones that were
leading towards, but still being made by Paramount because Disney was still figuring their shit out.
Yeah, but there was no Marvel Studios. There was no that whole that way of thinking about things.
Definitely a quality jump though when it happened.
Yes, 100%. So my Iron Man 2 is actually my second least favorite one.
Really?
Yeah, because Doctor Strange is number 1.
Okay.
Then Age of Ultron. Which it's been so long, and I have not seen it since I saw in the movies, and was I was one of those movies like Phantom Menace where I fought to love it, like I fought to like come up with something redeeming.
Yeah,
and it was just the Snorefest was largely because the main big bad of the first one was Loki, this incredible actor, this incredible like storyline. It was just so good. He was so great, and then you follow that up where the big bad is a robot.
Yeah, and it's James Spader, who is fantastic in The Blacklist. James Spader, highly underrated actor, but it's kind of hard to make a robot play. And also, they omitted, listen, because that was the last one that Whedon did, right, was Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. It's a very Whedon-esque movie where things are done in there to set up things that happen in the later movies, but it's like done through like Joss Whedon's eye. It's a very, very specific look to everything. So it doesn't really line up with things in the style of the other movies and what was going on.
He also admitted that he fucked that movie up because he was so worried about following up the greatest movie of all time, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And fucking up.
It's a little too artsy, not enough fartsy.
Yeah, he got a little no, that was a horrible analogy. It wasn't artsy at all.
Anytime today went into like a weird dream sequence where Tony Stark is like, he sees all his friends dead, or Thor is in the thing where he sees the wolf, the ram, and the heart, which was also a nod to
I don't remember any of this
series. Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember any of that.
It's got its moments of it. The Vision of the Scarlet Witch, kind of doing their falling in love thing before they get whisked away into the drama of what happens. I mean, it's not a great movie.
Which movie was the one where Hawkeye had the love of, was having like the weird family thing?
That was Age of Ultron.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
See?
Like, I don't want
Artsy.
Hawkeye. I don't care about Hawkeye's family.
But it's all set up.
I know, but that doesn't mean it's got to be bad.
No, I know that, but it's one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot with this is, and we hit the nail on the head last week when we said it's like 21 movies, and I was like, yeah, it's like a TV show. It's like a season of a television show where every episode is a movie. Yeah. It's crazy because now that it hits the 21st movie and the way that they're doing it, they are producing it like it's television because they're not making standalone movies anymore, or they're not even making movies that are like a trilogy or like in segments. Like everything that happens is a setup for a payoff that's coming at the end of April. So I look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe very differently now because I'm looking at it like, oh, it's a TV show.
What's your next favorite or least favorite?
My next least favorite? So my least favorite, Iron Man 2. My next least favorite is Age of Ultron. Definitely. And I think that my third least favorite, which I revisited recently, and I used to like it a lot more, but then once I started looking at it this way, Iron Man 3 is also, it's a buddy cop movie.
I don't remember much about Iron Man 3. I just remember it was better than Iron Man 2.
So here's the thing. Iron Man 3 was done by Shane Black, who I love, who did the Monster Squad with Fred Dekker. He also made Lethal Weapon, the original Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. If you take Lethal Weapon and you swap out Mel Gibson and Danny Glover for Tony Stark, and you take whatever kind of crime was happening and you switch it to shit with robots, same movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're watching a Lethal Weapon movie. So yeah, that's my 3 least favorite Marvel movies.
See, my next one's Captain America: First Avenger.
Yeah, I liked it.
I just thought it was boring.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of hokey and fun.
Yeah, I maybe I might revisit that. And finally, my fifth least favorite, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which was more of a letdown than anything else. It's not necessarily bad. We've talked about this before. I just felt it was just another episode of a TV show, a very long TV show.
Yeah, it's and that's the way I'm looking at things. So I really liked Iron Man 3, and I've enjoyed it. And now it's not a bad movie per se, but as far as in the grand scope of everything, it's a little tough.
A movie that's not on our list and is one of my favorites, but I know I stand alone. I love the second Thor movie.
I like it more now than I did when I first saw it.
Watch it again. It really is good. It's dark. Yes, it's definitely not Ragnarok. But I thought it was a very again, Loki steals the show.
He really does.
He's such a great actor.
I'm so happy that when Disney Plus comes out, they're giving him his own series.
I didn't know about that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do. So, moving on, Hambone.
Yes.
Right next to you, there is a box.
Yes.
I received a few, not complaints, but people who are upset that you are no longer unboxing things.
What's in the box?
So, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
So, I feel like you have yet to unbox a Fallout box.
And this is the brand new Fallout crate. Is this from Loot Crate?
This is from Loot Crate.
Okay.
Loot Crate has failed me many times. It has actually failed me the last few times with the Fallout crate because it has not had T-shirts. It has had shit.
So this is what the inside of the Fallout crate looks like.
It's not as fancy as like the other ones that you can fold into other things. We need to figure out how to do this without destroying your microphone.
It's okay.
But
I realized it.
we have this box. This is Fallout. Fallout is one of my favorite products. Fallout is one of my favorite, what's the word, brands in the world.
Brands in the world.
Though I have not played Fallout 76 yet. Sorry, Mike Dolan. And I thought you should open a box and let me know what you think of this box and whether this is worth it for kids today. And I will do what about we have also signed up for the Fallout Rick and Morty crate that will be starting soon.
Okay, you know that's going to be good because Rick and Morty.
So we're going to try it. So let me know what is in this box.
So first things first, you open up the box. I showed you what the inside of the box looks like. And at the end, will you allow me to guess the price point of this box?
Sure.
Okay. So first things first, you get a California flag.
Ooh, is it the double-headed bear? Because I could use another flag.
You could use another. Your neighbors gotta hate you at this point.
I had the flag that came with the Fallout. Remember they had a $100 box, and the flag fell apart pretty quickly. I gotta start making these flags only.
It is the two-headed bear.
Oh, that's not a full-size flag.
No, it's not a full-size flag.
That's not a hanging flag.
For the new California Republic.
That's like half a flag.
Yeah, but you know what? It's going to end up being probably worth money on eBay, so enjoy that.
I love this flag. I mean,
it's a cool flag. Yeah.
I love the double bear. I love California. This is actually really awesome. I just wish it was full size, but it's nice.
So the theme of this crate is Aftermath. This is crate number 8.
Ah.
So you get a totally sweet enamel pin, and I like that what Loot Crate has done now, they're making better pins, and they're also putting 2 pin backs on it because it's a bigger pin. So that's actually pretty cool. Now you have a Build-A-Figure.
This is zombie.
It's a zombie
perk. Go ahead.
So this is a part for the Build-A-Figure that I guess is box 2 of 6. If you don't have the other crates, then you're not going to be able to build this
luck.
figure.
And in all honesty, this is all crap because their custom figures are just ass. I hate.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. That's what it is.
So this is a replica of Adam's Judgment, which is a weapon from Fallout. It's, if you're into Fallout, I guess that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Meh.
I mean, it's a hammer. It's a sledge.
This is the T-shirt. Now, what I like about the Loot Crate boxes, better than what I liked about the Funko boxes. Ah, cool. So this is a T-shirt that says, "Welcome to the Glowing Sea." The T-shirts are a little bit of a better quality than the Loot Crate boxes, and it doesn't have a pop figure on it. So that's a little weapon for your desk or your shelf.
Yeah. So I guess this is cool. I mean, I kind of want to just hold on.
Ow! Ow!
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if you have reflexes.
I do.
I mean, it wasn't your back. I don't know. I mean, this isn't bad. I just want a guy that can use this or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they do have some cool things in here.
What's the T-shirt look like?
The T-shirt is
I actually like their shirts. So I've been buying these just for. Oh, that's nice.
That's a pretty cool
and
shirt.
It's like it's a nice warm earth tone. This is something I would wear. It's gigantic. Is this an XL? These shrink down nicely though.
So it has a schematic for Adam's judgment, as well as what's in the box listed on the back. So that's a pretty cool little thing. The thing I like the best about this box is it comes with an irradiated blood ice pack set. So I think that's actually pretty fun.
That's pretty fun.
That's like something I'd imagine I'd find in the Think Geek store, but this is pretty cool. So you have an ice pack that is irradiated blood and clearly marked as not food.
We could use it on your back.
You can use it on my back. So I am going to say it's a $50 box.
It's actually a $34.99 box. It comes out every other month.
Okay.
So for the T-shirt, it's worth it because I'd pay $25 for a shirt.
$25 for a T-shirt. So I'm going to say at a $35 price point, if you're a Fallout fan, it's worth it.
So we'll be getting the Rick and Morty one. Will be the next one you do.
It's too good.
Now that one is like a $50 box. So it comes out every quarter.
Right.
So I'm curious.
So it's a Rick and Morty Fallout box.
No, it's Rick and Morty. It's not Fallout.
Oh.
You thought it was a
Rick and Morty Fallout themed box.
That's crazy.
They slap that license on everything now.
That would be kind of bonkers.
That would be bonkers.
But I would love it.
It would be your favorite box.
It would be the greatest thing ever. I'd have to buy another one for you. So moving on, we are going to get into spoilers now. For those of you who are still watching The Walking Dead, we had. To be fair, I watched the episode where Rick died,
right,
and then got rescued by a helicopter. I don't know. I still thought that was incredibly. I watched a couple episodes afterwards to see where it was going. It was very interesting. Look, the actors on that show are really good.
Fantastic. It's
just that the show can't figure out whether it wants to be an artsy fartsy zombie thing or like a higher level conversation about humanity, or it's on season 9.
It's gotten a little long in the tooth.
That said, they did fast forward 5 years. Things have changed. They've tried to revigorate it like they did in the comic books.
Right.
And I think it's better than the crap they were doing when they were just, I don't know what when it was meandering.
It does. Well, that's what it does. It does a thing that I think is done every season after I think season 3 is because by season 3 they've kind of you've seen the scope of the world, and it hits a point where it starts off with a bang, it meanders, and just when you're about to quit and be like, I'm not going to watch this fucking show anymore, they do something so crazy and explosive, you're just like, well, fuck, all right, God, now I want to see what happens next. That's how they get you, they pull you back in.
So I woke up Monday morning, and it was trending on Twitter.
Right.
And it said this was the greatest episode of Walking Dead ever. So, yeah, look, I watched a good chunk of the show, so I'm like, let me go watch this episode that they're calling the best. They said it was a standalone episode, so I'm like, let me go see what's going on. And I had watched a few episodes when they fast forwarded, so I knew Michonne had these weird scars. I knew she had another child with Rick, and I know she had adopted Judith. That was the baby. That was a baby for like 10 seasons.
Yes.
But this was the episode where they were explaining how she got the scars. I'm like, Hambone. They're saying is I kind of read the story. I kind of read what it was going to be about. I got spoiled a little bit.
Right.
And I'm like, Hambone, you need to watch this, because if this is as fucked up as it sounds like it is, like, I think this is, something we need to talk about.
Well, friends of mine who still watch The Walking Dead were like, I can't believe that episode last night. And they were talking about how fucked up it is and how it's like very like, they don't know how to feel about it. And I'm like, all right, so now I got to know.
So you watch with no preconceived notions.
I just knew they did something that was considered controversial, they did something that was considered upsetting, and that people don't know how to feel about it.
Let me set it up a little bit. And I want to get your true, honest opinion. Mm-hmm. So just set it up. Michonne again has this. This episode is told in flashbacks and flash forwards.
Yes.
So they flash back to when she was pregnant with the child, the Rick's child. Rick is dead, gone, whatever. They think he's dead. She's pregnant with the child. This is where it got a little convoluted. I had to go make sure that this isn't someone we should have known who it is already.
Oh, I know exactly who it was.
I know who it was. The actress.
No, I knew exactly who the character was because she's popped up before.
She has? Mm-hmm. I heard she has never been on the show before.
She's popped up, yeah.
Are you sure?
Positive.
This isn't like when you thought that Electric Frankenstein. I didn't talk about Electric Frankenstein. You cut me off.
No, honest to God, when I saw her and she said her name, it was in an episode many moons ago.
Anyway, it's an old college friend of Michonne's who just magically stumbles upon their fortified city, their fortified suburb,
Mm-hmm.
with a whole bunch of kids that need help, and they eventually the children that come with her that they help them. Michonne doesn't give them protection in the city. She does not allow them to live there. They come back and they kidnap Judith. the who at the time was like 5 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
And we discover that this is in fact a group of feral children led by Michonne's friend and some other like tweens.
Yeah.
And things get silly. Hambone.
So it's funny because when her friend popped up, I was like, I just knew it's not good. This is going to be a problem. And so her friend pops up. Her friend's injured, and she gets them to go and rescue these children who this woman was taking care of. And they bring them back to say they're actually letting them live there. Like they were letting them live there.
Okay, I got a little lost there with the back and forth.
And they're there for a little bit, and Michonne goes in, like, go to see Judith because she's like, oh, Judith just loves these children. They do sleepovers. She's so excited. So she goes to pick up her kid in the morning, and her kid's gone. And then some of the other kids are gone. And then the pantry got raided and a bunch of stuff. One of their dudes got murdered, and they escaped through the sewers because the sewers are a very big deal in The Walking Dead. That's how they turn the tide on the thing. So Michonne starts freaking out. She goes to see Negan because Judith goes to hang out with Negan, and they have a talk about like parenting.
I could live without this whole like Negan is now like the soothsayer. I don't know.
I was kind of like, okay.
Supposedly that's every episode.
I know, it's so weird. So Michonne and Daryl go after them. And how this starts is, it starts off with a flash forward to current time in Walking Dead, where Daryl comes in with some kids, and Michonne is very, very particular about how they're treated.
No more fucking kids.
And no more fucking kids. Like, Daryl, your people cannot.
No more feral children.
You can't hang out. Because Daryl's on his own now, because ever since what eventually happens, Daryl kind of has to find his own way. So they go and they track them down. They track down the kids. They track down Michonne's friend. They get captured because it's The Walking Dead. And what would a season be where they don't get fucking captured?
Plot twist, the college friend is actually evil.
She's totally fucking batshit
Psycho.
crazy. She's trained these kids to be murderers and thieves. And
they live in a weird like romper room, like a homicidal, genocidal
school
romper room where they have like creepy like paintings. Here's how to skin a cat. And,
how to skin a cat. It's a weird culty school.
Very
situation.
well done though.
The whole thing's pretty good. So what happens is they break out. They get branded. They get branded by Michonne's friends,
the feral
weird
children.
Kids. So that's how they got their scars on them. They're marked for death, and they escape because that's what they do. And they're going to save the kids
because Michonne's a ninja.
Because Michonne is a straight up ninja who is way pregnant. She's got to be at least 7 months pregnant at this point. The feral kids take their kids and try to escape with them in a bus. Michonne gets outside and she's surrounded by the feral kids. Her friend comes and Michonne murders her friend because she's got to defend herself. She's got to get her kids back. And so the kids see the friend Jocelyn get murdered. And
feral kids surround her.
They draw their knives. Now, Michonne is like, kids, I don't want to do this. She's trying to like kind of fend them off. And the oldest teen kid looks at the one little blonde kid and goes, go kill their children. So the kid runs off with a knife to go kill
Judith.
Go kill Judith and the other kids. Michonne tries to go after him. She gets surrounded. She gets attacked. She has one little kid with a big knife, cuts her, and she pushes him off.
Fucking slices her pregnant belly.
And stabs her in the pregnant belly, and he goes back into kill, and she's got his arm, and she's holding it, and he's trying to plunge the knife into her pregnant stomach, so she kills the kid. And then she kills like 6 other kids.
And let's be fair, these are like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds.
Between 5 and 8-year-olds and some teenagers.
It was pretty fucking brutal. So a few things. I thought it would be worse than it was. I found because I had spoiled a little bit. I realized very quickly that her child wasn't going to die because the child's alive in the future.
Right.
So we knew that at least. So we knew this was going to be like they need to like eat the child to survive or something.
Yeah.
Like we need the corpse of fetal children or something.
Right.
So there's at least that. They cut away. You could tell there was some heavy editing. I have a feeling they had to go back and forth a few times with the network to see what they can cut.
Yeah.
They were cutting between her murdering, going to murder the kid, and then her kid killing zombies in the present.
Yeah.
So they were doing this thing where it was like going to cut this child's head off, cutting off the head of a zombie. It was very well done production-wise.
Exceptionally well done production-wise. People were very upset about this. She killed children. And I was kind of like, and this is going to sound terrible, but I was like, like, it's the zombie apocalypse. At this point, if you've been watching The Walking Dead for 9 seasons, you know some stuff that's going to happen that you're not going to agree with. And in the zombie apocalypse, if there are these feral children trying to murder your unborn child...
And your child.
And your child, you might take exception to it.
Were you shocked a little bit by the episode?
No.
No, really?
No, I'm kind of like, wow, I'm shocked it took them this long.
Did you enjoy the episode?
I thought it was a fantastic episode.
It was definitely one of the best episodes. And oddly enough, their other most powerful episode that I could think about was a few seasons ago. And it's the one where Carol has to murder that other little girl.
Well, that's the thing. This is not the first time they killed children on The Walking Dead.
Now, that was a slightly older girl, but all she cared about was, like, killing.
Yes.
And murdering. And she had to go behind her and just look at the flowers. Remember that?
I do.
Look at the flowers.
I was disturbed by that.
That was a very disturbing
That was
episode.
very disturbing, but this...
Because you had no attachment to these kids.
Yeah, these kids are just...
And they were trying to kill her.
They're a bunch of jerks trying to kill a baby.
That one was way more powerful.
Yeah. Also... Star Wars, Anakin killed all the younglings. Like, this is not the first time a show you've watched and enjoyed has not really been cool about not killing kids. So, like, whatever.
But that said, Michonne did a very good job as an actress, making you
she's
feel
so good.
You felt like she did not want to do this. You know, she. It was just that one fucking blonde kid that was going in who's going to get the job done, and he's the one who lived because she let him go. She's like, all right, you know what? I just want to go play.
Yeah.
Whee!
Yeah, because he kind of stepped off and backed off a little bit when he saw his buddy get his head cut off. I will say this, the thing that I appreciated most about the episode was the conversation that Michonne had with Judith. A lot of times, and I have a big problem with it, you know, you've got kids, it's not like a kid adventure movie where the kids are supposed to be smarter than they should be at that age. And they have like a certain level of emotional maturity that they should have at that age. Michonne and Judith had a really nice conversation about what happened, and it was almost, I mean, it was a very beautiful conversation. It was done from the point of where Judith knew and understood what happened and kind of emotionally has to deal with it, and she explains it to Michonne, and Michonne kind of felt better about it, but it wasn't like, well, now I'm going to take care of you, Mom. It's just like, hey, I'm a kid. I'm not stupid. I know what's going on, and I understand why you did it. And it was enough. Like, they didn't kind of oversell it, which I thought was great.
No, a great episode. Definitely, if you are a Lapsed fan, well, jump in. This is a good show to try to find out what's going on. You'll be completely lost. There's zombies that talk now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But in general, this was just one of the best episodes, and it is standalone, so you can just watch it and pick back off just to see how your favorite people are doing. I also think it did a good job. You know, the big thing about Walking Dead, the zombies aren't what's frightening. It's the humans. I mean, that was always where they were going with this, and this was another way. You know, these feral children were children born into the apocalypse.
Yes.
They never knew before.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's possible that, you know, they could just know how to kill, and they don't know right from wrong because nobody's been there to really teach them that.
Yep.
Because that's something you are kind of... You grow up learning.
It's kind of a thing.
And I loved it. I'm glad you watched it.
Absolutely.
I thought that would be a great topic to talk about.
I think it was a strong enough episode that they got me, and I'm gonna start watching it again because I'm also curious to see what's going on with the people in the dead skin masks.
I think I might actually go back and watch the handful of episodes since the new season started. Because what they did was, I think Rick Grimes died halfway through the first half of the season.
Yeah, this is the second half of the season.
Then there was a few episodes that led to the end of the first half of the season, and now it's the second half of the season.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like Rick died, and there was like 3 or 4 more episodes still, and then it started the new second half. So you might have to go a little bit deeper.
To their credit, though, Walking Dead is generally an okay show to kind of just drop in on, and within an episode or two, you'll know exactly where you are.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, will your favorite character have died since the last time you saw it?
That's a possibility.
But most people lapse because their favorite character has died. Yeah. At this point, they can't kill Michonne or Daryl. Like, there's people in Carol. There's people they can't kill because, like, at that point, you have because they haven't created any characters as good at them as them since.
No, you're right. You're right.
And that's a challenge. There's no one that's as strong to carry the show if you were to
So who's left? It's Maggie, Carol.
Maggie quit the show.
Oh, that's right. She did quit the show.
But is she still there? I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta go, but again, now I'm probably gonna go back and watch a few. Anyway,
got me.
This has been another excellent adventure in the world of Mai Tai Happy Hour. I just really quickly want to plug Hambone's other podcast, Vintage RPG.
That's what I do.
They did their first interview this week.
Yeah, the first
I want everybody to know that when I met Hambone, when we started this show, Hambone didn't have a fucking clue how to do an interview. Like it was possible bad. He was also half in the bag for most of the interviews.
Sorry,
but
Brutus.
it was I was like, I could just let him do a question, I'll do a question, and realized very quickly, yes, Hambone's weak at it. Hambone has gotten so good at it. He led an interview with this famous this guy who worked in Dungeons & Dragons, this designer / writer, I don't know, whatever he does, this legendary RPG director kind of guy, and it's great. It's a very good interview. Definitely worth checking out, and Hambone and Stu do a great job on it. So that's my plug for the week.
I appreciate it.
And thank you again for the plug on that show. I would say I think there's tons of Pensy Prep fans that love RPG.
They might.
When I listen, I'm like, yeah, I guess there's no point in plugging that show on here.
Yeah.
There might be some crossover with weirdos on the two, but
absolutely
not so much on the other side. Anyway, Hambone.
I plug Mai Tai and Casual Interactions.
But that also makes sense because we talk about this show is meant to be the catch-all for the weird shit in our lives that like doesn't fit clean into any category. Because I wouldn't want to do a show just on the Marvel Cinematic Universe or just on Walking Dead.
Well, that'd be painful.
I want this show to be a show. It's a pop culture show for weirdos, for middle-aged people like us who just want to talk about the weird shit we like, who love this type of shit.
We do love this type of shit.
It's just the world we live in. It's the world we live in. Hambone, how can the kids reach you?
You can find me on Twitter at Hambreaker. I am constantly tweeting about video games, Dungeons & Dragons games, pro wrestling, and cute animals. You can also find me on Instagram at John Hambone McGuire, where I will chronicle my adventures and the podcast I produce. I
realize that if I turn off the app, it then goes into the slow shut off, which is why you're probably going to have to add some music when you do our little video this week.
I'll figure it out. It's
already disappeared. Anyway, you can reach me at GLK Creative on the Instagrams, on the Twitters. You can find me at cultofgeorge.com. I have finished archiving 2007.
Yes.
I'm working on 2008 now. All that's now going to slowly start moving on to Cult of George.
Awesome.
In the meantime, I've been dropping a photo every day from 2007.
They look great.
And, I was trying.
Kind of the guy.
Yeah, so that's why you should check that out. You need to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Tell us you love us. Tell us what you want to see on the show. Tell us if you like what we're doing. But we will be back. We're probably going to do a full-length, Road to WrestleMania episode at some point. Not sure whether it's going to be a standalone or a special edition or something. We'll figure that out. Tell us you love us. Drop us a line. Let me know what I should do to torture Hambone next.
No, don't do that.
This is Mai Tai Happy Hour. We love you so much. Take us out, Hambone.
Everybody remember, be nice. Aloha. All right.